Hey, good morning from frozen North Carolina here at Nature's Love Farm. So this is what, the second snow of the year, I guess?
Sure.
You got like that little flurry. So you can see everything is covered here. Oh, look at all the deer tracks we got right here coming down. So we have about, I would say what, 1 to 2 inches maybe. But then we got freezing rain on top of it. So the freezing rain always, makes it nice. We're gonna get out the toboggan and go down the little hill that we have here. And the kids are going to use the sled. So we're going to just go and do some of the chores and check on the goats. So we have some pregnant does, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. I know we owe you a tour of it, but today is not the best day probably to give a tour of everything since it's a frozen tundra out here. Hi, girls.
Whew.
Sure we have some nice frozen water too from being all frozen all night. Yep, nice and frozen there. And of course this as well. That's probably not working too good. Can't even do anything with that. That's so frozen on there. I'm just gonna have to let that go because otherwise I'll break the screen on it or the solar sensor. So I'm not gonna do that. Let's go ahead. See everything out there. That's her first time in the snow, so she's probably like, what the heck is going on here? You'll see what's going on. Yeah, nice and frozen. I like using this. Break it up because it's got both sides there. Not too bad. We've had some other days where it froze even more. That was even more ridiculous. Trying to get in there. So today is not too bad. Not too bad there. Moonshine, Clyde, where are you at? Come on, let's see. I hear them. They said, nope, not coming out. I'll go give the boys some hay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you which does that are pregnant, give you some insights and thoughts about it, and, well, Mel will be talking about that because she knows more about that stuff. I found you the gate. Hopefully it won't be frozen. You see. So what? There you go. It's frozen in the back there. Next question is, can I even get in there? Whew. All right. Okay. Come on, boys. Let's go. Relax. You're getting out of here. Come on. Yeah, nice and dry in here, huh, boys? Okay. Enjoy.
Okay. So, update on the goats. We had a lot more when we first came here, and then Alan and I decided to take on a dairy cow, and that was awesome, and it was an awesome experience. I don't regret it. However, we quickly found out that we were getting the same amount of milk from our large dairy goat Oreo as we were getting from our half Jersey. It's called a half Jersey, half Dexter cow called a Belfair. And for the amount of hay that cow had eaten, it just wasn't worth it. Even though it was a really cool experience and I don't regret it, I just don't see it as a sustainable option.
I think a lot of the calculations online too for hay was like, nah.
Yeah, the online calculators weren't great. Although I will say that is more so geared to a Jersey or a Holstein, or an Angus. Most, I guess, farms around here are heavily Angus farms. Yep. So it was really hard to figure out unless you just went ahead and jumped right in, which we did. And so we found out goats are a much better option for us.
That's right. Oreo's like, yep, heard me.
Yeah, so we do have our one cow who's over there, and that's Bonnie Belle.
Bonnie!
She's still afraid of everything we have tried many things, and it's just going to take time with Bonnie. But that's why she's not in here, because we're in here right now.
Right.
So we have over here is Dottie.
And you can see she's been all licked up by the cow on her back.
Lots of cow licks.
Lots of cow licks.
Bonnie thinks that she's a goat.
Right.
So she does lick all of the goats. Primarily, when we first got Bonnie, we were a little nervous that she wasn't going to mesh well and that we were going to have to inevitably buy another cow.
Right.
However, that has not been a problem for our homestead. She very much thinks she's a goat. So it's great. So here is Dottie. Dottie is our oldest mama here, or a nanny, so they say. And she is about 4 or 5 years old. And this will be her third freshening. Claire, who's next to her, is her baby from last year. So
Claire.
baby Claire.
And Oreo.
And Oreo is a hog. She's my baby, yes. Just like, what did you say about me?
Yeah.
Oreo is a different breed than the rest of these. If you can notice, she's much larger. So Oreo is an Alpine Kiko mix, heavily leaning on the Alpine side. So we bought her from a dairy farm that was closer to Durham over there. And so she has been such a powerhouse when it comes to milking. We can get a half a gallon out of one milking from Oreo. And that's with her kids on her. So that was pretty amazing. Nigerians don't give nearly that amount, but the Nigerians do give a higher butterfat content. So it's a sweeter type of milk. So this over here is Annie. And if you remember, we had triplets. We had her and her sister Adele and her other sister Autumn. When we first moved here, there was a lot going on. Not sure if you're keeping up with this or not, but our middle child, Gabby, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And when we first moved here a year and a half ago, we moved the goats, and the next day, Gabby was diagnosed in TKA. So we had a lot going on all at once, and from the move, we lost Autumn with a lot of worm load. We tried to save her, and she was my favorite goat, so it was really hard on all of us. It was a lot of loss at one time. But we have Annie. We sold Adele last year, but we have Annie, and this is her very first freshening.
You're a mess. Look at you.
She is a mess, but she's a lovely mess.
She's a sweetheart. Yeah.
She loves everyone. If I was just to sit here, she will just see right away. She just wants to be pet. She wants me to love on her, and she will push anybody else away. Yep. She is pregnant, and I'm very excited to see how she's going to do this year. Also very nervous. Anytime it's their first freshening, it's always a toss-up. You don't know how it's going to go. So we're going to make sure that we put cameras in here and that we're watching. But all of these goats, except for Claire, will be due at the end of February. So we have some time, considering it's the middle of January right now. But looking at her, Alan says that he thinks that she's going to have a singleton, and I think that she's going to have 2. I think she's looking pretty plump.
Yeah.
Her sister Adele was bred last year, and she had twins last year. So I'm going based off of Adele, because that's, again, her sister, and I think that she'll have twins. Claire is also the same as Annie, where she wants to be up in your face and get pets, right? Maybe we'll have a goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
Maybe we'll have
Not in the snow, though. Not in
If you're
ice.
eating my hair or the hair, you can eat the hair, just not my hair. I don't need a haircut. Okay. Well, Claire we kept last year because if you can see, she has a lot of beautiful, cute little moon spots. She also comes from Dottie, who's over there. And Dottie is actually a really good milker for a Nigerian. She has a really nice bag, a really nice udder. And last year we purchased a buckling who is Clyde. I don't know if you guys have met him.
Kind of saw him.
Kind of?
He was getting bullied.
Okay.
Because I brought out the hay.
So Clyde comes from a very heavy dairy milk line when it comes to Nigerian dwarfs. He's actually one of 4. So his mama has a very, very nice wide frame. So we are hoping to breed that going forward. So Annie is hopefully bred to Clyde. We're going to have to do a DNA check because we had Moonshine break in. So that
Yep.
wasn't in the plan. So now we have to DNA check the boys and all the babies. Dottie, I think last year she had 3. I think she could do it again.
Yeah.
You said 2.
I said 2 for her.
You said 2, and then Alan thinks that Oreo is gonna have 3 babies, and
2 does and a buck.
so Oreo is our second oldest, and she's 4 going on 5, and she had twins twice with us and a singleton before that. So she very well could, and she's big enough to carry 3.
Yeah.
However, her babies have favored the Alpine, so they've been bigger babies.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think she still might have twins. We'll see. We shall see. But we're hoping, fingers crossed, and you can't really see my fingers. Fingers crossed.
If it glows.
We get doelings this year because we had a lot of bucklings last year, and if you sell any kind of goats, you know that bucklings are harder to sell than doelings. We'd also like to retain some next year and breed them to Clyde if they haven't been bred to Clyde. So that would be a huge plus for us because we can really hone in on that udder and get optimal milk. And if we can get a wider goat, we can have more babies and quads. That would be really cool. That would be a first on the farm.
Yeah.
Last year, Dottie gave us triplets, and that was our first triplets on the farm. So that was kind of cool last year. Yeah. And we were not home for only Oreos towards the end of all of the kidding last year. Actually, right in this area, our children were home while I had to go and Alan had to go get something for our middle child. And our goat was giving birth, which was Dottie. And I had to stay on FaceTime video, which is very spotty by the barn, and walk my kids through how to help
They delivered all
assist.
All right.
Yep, how to help assist the giving birth. So, yeah, they helped him out. And my son's friend was here. And
Yeah, it was not expected.
it was not an expected thing, but he thought it was so cool, and he is so proud.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a core memory, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Over there, so she'll walk towards you, maybe.
All right. Even though she was bottle fed, she is still super skittish. Every bottle fed her and, pet her. She'll take food from you. She tends to like the kids a lot more. But she'll go to you, but then if you try to do anything, try to get a lead on her, or forget it. Runs like crazy. But she's still good. And she is getting her buds for her horns. They are coming in. We were hoping she would hold, but we were told 99% chance of why. So, and then Philo, this is pretty much, that's definitely her first snow. Maybe Annie's, right? I guess her and Annie's. I don't know if Annie's had snow. She's probably had snow before, but definitely her first real snow. That first one was just like a little flurry, so that didn't really count.
We do need to talk about this year's hitting the letter D.
Oh yeah, the letter D.
Yeah. So every year that we have kidding, we name the kids with the first letter of the name of the year. So the letter of the year. So the first year was A. We're going through the alphabet to make it simple. It also helps us keep track of how old they are.
Right, when they're all born, yeah.
Yeah, so because for every year is a new letter. So this year is letter D. So we're going to need all the kid names that begin with the letter D. So we've gotten Darla, Drake, Delilah.
Damien.
No. Daphne.
Donald.
Yeah, we need all the D names. If you could drop those in the comments, that would be great. That'd be very helpful.
Appropriate D names.
Yeah. Let's keep it PG.
Yeah. They're too busy eating. They said forget. Oh, there's Mr. Clyde. And there's Moonshine.
There's the boy.
Hi, boys.
There's a sticky boy.
They're also very lovey.
Hello, stinky boy.
If I go in there, he won't leave me alone.
Oh, you're gonna get napped. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
You
Clyde, you can
stinky.
see.
You are so stinky.
There you go.
Clyde has been getting this curly hair and he looks like Elvis.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah, look. Hey, Clyde. What is that?
It's so silly.
It's silly.
It's so silly. You like you got a perm.
Yep. Hi. Yep. All right, so I guess let's go take care of the chickens.
Let's go.
Let's go.